Growing up, I adored holidays. You really don't realize the extent of how magical these fleeting moments of the year felt. It really did feel like the whole world transformed for a moment before you snapped back to reality. People would put up decorations, stores would put on festive music, and you'd even get a small break from school. There was truly nothing like it. But to me, the holidays didn't feel quite right without the special ingredient: cartoon specials. Now, holiday specials are nothing new. They've been around since basically the first Christmas. But man, there was something about those animated cartoon specials that really tickled my underdeveloped mind. I've been reminiscing a lot lately. My youth is behind me and the future is a little daunting. But watching these specials, within the atmosphere of the seasons surrounding it, really takes me back to simpler times. Back to when your teachers would give you candy canes on your way out, and McDonald's would sell those limited Halloween buckets.
I love these specials, especially Christmas specials. Especially SpongeBob Christmas specials.
These Christmas episodes weren't the only ones I watched, of course, but over the years, as cartoons came and went, these episodes simply refused to let me go. They were like a reverse leech. They latched on and injected dopamine into me. It helped that they were on constant rerun whenever December rolled around. No matter how much Nickelodeon went through metamorphosis, these would always be there waiting for me. Except for when we didn't have to cable these channels were on. Whoops.
So today, I would like for all of us to go on a little nostalgic binge. So sit back, relax, let's huddle around the campfire in our living room together and forget all of our worries as we watch episode after episode of these nostalgic SpongeBob Christmas specials. Oh crap, I haven't bought any gifts yet.
SpongeBob was always one of my favorite cartoons, and Christmas was always one of my favorite holidays, so this was basically a match made in heaven for me. And for a good long while, this was the only SpongeBob Christmas special available. Sure, there were other Christmassy feeling episodes like Snowball Effect, or Survival of the Idiots, or Pizza Delivery. What? And Squeaky Boots? These literally have nothing to do with Christmas. What is this DVD? Look, my point is, Christmas Who was the big celebration. It was half an hour long and had Patchy the Pirate segments, so you know they meant business. This episode was released in the year 2000, so before I was even conscious. It's had a good long run, so how does it hold up? The episode starts with a special intro, a remix of the theme song if you will. I've never ran into Christmas carolers in real life, so this is the closest I'm getting.
Hey, you know what screams Christmas to me? California.
Specifically Encino, where Patchy the Pirate lives. I don't know how people view these segments today or what they think of them, but I adore them. Back then, these were my absolute favorite parts about SpongeBob episodes. The parts that didn't have SpongeBob in them. Patchy is essentially an over-energetic man-child. The perfect antithesis to an over-energetic child. I love him. His antics were the peak of entertainment for me. Quick question, do houses still look like this on the inside? Like if I walked into a stranger's house today, this isn't what I would expect. Something about it just feels old. You know what I'm talking about? Am I crazy here? It does make for a cozy atmosphere though, especially with all the Christmas decorations. I feel so welcomed. We get that classic zany and abstract humor SpongeBob's known for. Seriously, it's banger after banger. Patchy gives us the scoop of the episode, the story of the very first Christmas in Bikini Bottom. See, the funny thing about this special is, typically other cartoon characters already know about Christmas. I mean, why wouldn't they? It seems like a crucial detail for celebrating Christmas. Pretty normal, right? Well, SpongeBob had a rare opportunity, because literally no one in Bikini Bottom knew what Christmas was. Makes sense. As far as we know, there was never a fist Jesus that was crucified. So we get to see the characters' first reaction to this festive tradition. And in true Christmas fashion, they only care about the gifts. Nah, I'm kidding. They also care about the other stuff.
And everyone pretends to like the fruitcake.
Yawn.
Growing up, this was the only fruitcake I knew. So I have no idea what this one tastes like.
I designed this mechanism specifically to shoot bottles to the surface.
Damn, SpongeBob made that himself? Where did this sudden spark of genius come from? I think it's pretty creative how they twisted the send letters to Santa tradition. I would usually just hang it on the tree. He would always know what I wanted beforehand. After everyone sends in their weird request,
I need a new hairstyle.
we move on to the absolute masterpiece that is Very First Christmas. Yeah, the song is the best part about this episode, hands down. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to music.
This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.
It's infectious, it's fun, it's catchy, I like it. This song is the main thing I look forward to whenever I rewatch this. It's so damn nostalgic, man. So fun fact about this part of the song. Years and years ago, we had the family over at our house to celebrate Christmas. This episode was on TV, and when this part played, I distinctly remembered.
From the corner of my eye, one of my older cousins, who I think was watching and talking to one of my cousins at the same time, very briefly, for like a second, he mimicked what SpongeBob did. He went like this, nah, nah, you know, with his finger and everything, then stopped, and that's it. That's the whole memory. I literally remember nothing else from that Christmas except for that one snippet. It's just one of those things that sticks with you for some unfathomable reason for the rest of your life.
Okay, so everything after the song is more traditional SpongeBob. It's good stuff, but the vibes are a little gone. I was a sensitive kid, so maybe I just didn't like how sad SpongeBob got and how everyone got mad at him. Also, this child is a full-grown woman. Squidward really steals the show. Going from an absolute ass to his heart growing 3 sizes that day was very sweet. Him being nice is a rare treat, and all of his gifts being misinterpreted is just a chef's kiss. So that's the whole episode. Still as lovely as I remember it. But now that I'm older, I'm left with a few burning questions. Why didn't Santa show up? As a kid, I always assumed that he didn't want to be seen, so he wasn't able to visit anyone in Bikini Bottom. Is that a normal thing, by the way? It was like a Christmas rule that you couldn't wait and try to catch Santa in the act. Otherwise, he just wouldn't show up and you wouldn't get any presents. Is that normal? Did anyone else have this rule, or did I just randomly manifest it into my head? Anyway, that's what I always thought, but he ends up showing up to Bikini Bottom anyway, and revealing himself to Squidward while going freaking insane. My god, this episode is amazing. And he ends up showing himself in the later specials too.
So why? Why didn't he do this earlier? Was he just not aware that a new species was indoctrinated into his holiday?
I also need to question the timeline of events here. So the way this is animated makes it seem like the sending letters and singing parts all took place on the same day. And we are to assume that SpongeBob spread the word of Christmas immediately after Sandy explained it to him, right? So was Sandy barely decorating on Christmas Eve? What? My family has had their fair share of late decorating, but never to the extent of literally the day before it's over. What the heck, Sandy? We cap off this special with one more patchy segment, and a happy holidays. Ah, what a joy. I'll never get tired of it. Had this been the only special, I think most of us would have been pretty satisfied. And for 12 years, it was. But we now know that this was only the beginning. Most cartoons only have one Christmas special to their name. They're lucky if they even get another snow level. It makes sense, even if cartoons don't have the strongest continuity in the world. Christmas is a massive event. It'd be weird for them to have to learn the same lessons again a year later. But SpongeBob somehow managed to score 4 more specials so far. And that's not even counting the spin-offs. How many stories can one sponge tell about the snow and the lights and the gifts? Well, let's take a look at the next episode. It's a SpongeBob Christmas premiered in 2012 as the 23rd episode of Season 8. So this is well after the heyday of SpongeBob, i.e. everything after Season 3. Typically, everything onwards isn't exactly received well by the fanbase. So I'm kinda worried that it's blasphemous to say that I think I like this one more than Christmas Who? But then again, maybe I don't have too much to worry about, because it seems like this special is received surprisingly well by everyone, as I'm sure you're able to tell. This special goes the extra mile and uses stop motion animation, probably to harken back to the old classics. Now, even for short projects, stop motion is not an easy process. In fact, this 22-minute special started production in October of 2011, so this took over a year to complete. I guess if you're gonna put that much time, work, and effort into an episode, you might as well make sure that the writing is good. I might also have a lot of bias, because while I grew up with both of them, I got to see It's a SpongeBob Christmas during its premiere. I remember being so hyped because of the commercials and bumpers, so we have a bit of a more intimate relationship, me and It's a SpongeBob Christmas. So, how is it? We start off with another patchy segment, and even he got graced with a stop motion version of himself. He's going to the North Pole to personally ask Santa himself to meet SpongeBob. I find it interesting that they decided to make his section stop motion too. I could totally see this being live action. Nick usually doesn't shy away from putting him in weird situations, and even building sets around him. But I guess they wanted the entire special to be consistent. He still gets up to his usual shenanigans anyway. Well, last time he was kinda, but also not really, the narrator for Christmas Who. This time his story is mostly disconnected from the actual episode. It's Christmas again, and oh boy, is Bikini Bottom brimming with festive cheer. Wow, I cannot believe how good this looks. Screen Novelties absolutely hit it out of the park. To this day, this looks incredible. The designs of the characters are endearing to me. I love how they each have a tiny little uniqueness to them. Plankton and Patrick are longer, Mr. Krabs is squishier, Squidward is shinier, and SpongeBob's pants being slightly smaller than the rest of his body is a nice touch. They're different enough to fit in this new style, but not completely off model to the point of it being distracting. I think they're perfect. The plot of the episode is way different compared to the first. Christmas is no longer this foreign concept. Everyone knows what it's all about. Bikini Bottom has fully absorbed Christmas into their culture. Does this technically count as a religious crusade? So this time Plankton plays the role of the antagonist. He's been on the naughty list once too many times, so he devises a plan to use an element he discovered, Jerktonium, to turn everyone worse than him so he would be the only nice person by comparison. I don't think that's how that works, Sheldon, but go on.
Here you go. Hot from the oven and full of lovin'.
This episode makes fruitcake look so damn good to me. It's like a brownie with little sugar crystals. It's gotta taste good, right? SpongeBob, being unaffected by the cake, unwittingly spreads Plankton's fruitcake to everyone in this cute little cart he's got. And Plankton sends out a robo-sponge to make him look bad. Okay, so ignoring the fact that Santa is watching everything and is somehow still fooled by this, how does anyone fall for this robot? It's not even painted to look like him. The rest of the episode plays out how you expect, until SpongeBob and Sandy come up with a solution.
Dum 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 dum. Sandy, the song is the antidote.
Now there's like 3 other songs in this episode. Heck, it even starts off with SpongeBob singing. But this song at the end, just like the previous episode, is once again the best part of the special. Holy crap, it is so catchy. If I was enamored by First Christmas, then I was obsessed with Don't Be a Jerk. I would rewind and listen to this song over and over again. I still remember the lyrics, they never faded from my mind.
I love this song so much that I even tried recording myself singing it on my old iPod Touch 2. That's how much that song meant to me. It's no longer here, sadly. I think I deleted it a long time ago out of embarrassment or something. But the fact that I even tried should speak volumes enough of how much I cared about that song.
Gay fish? Looking closer at the lyrics, I get the feeling that the writers were listing down personal grievances as inspiration for the song. Who wrote this anyway? Hey yo, what? Patchy the Pirate himself wrote this song? With a ghostwriter? You think he always imagined it in SpongeBob's voice? So after the big song, Santa arrives and—
Oh my goodness! Squidward!
You look, different. So this rather ghastly appearance of Santa Claus was kind of on purpose. The whole point was that he was supposed to be tired. You know, Bikini Bottom was his last stop, he's an old man, he's ready to head to bed. And it never really bothered me as a kid. My mind kind of brushed over it. I was more focused on the climax, where they have this straight out of a video game looking boss battle with Robo-Sponge. And thus, things are wrapped up with Plankton being foiled again, while Patrick ends up on the naughty list.
Merry Christmas!
And there you have it. Those are the 2 most special Christmas specials to me. I've recently taken to rewatching them a lot whenever the holidays roll around. I even put the songs on a playlist to get in the mood. That's how cherished these memories are to me.
But this isn't where things ended for SpongeBob. This series is still going strong and has produced even more Christmas stories. I don't have as strong of a relationship with these, but I figured I might as well go over them, albeit quicker. Goons on the Moon, released in 2018. I think for a long stretch of time, we didn't have the provider for Nickelodeon. I was a Cartoon Network exclusive for a moment, so I missed out on this episode along with many others before and after. Having said that, who the hell are you? Why are you all Girl Scouts? What's going on? Damn, how much did I miss? So you don't really need any prior context, everything is self-explanatory.
Hey! Watch it, you big orca! You watch it, you big dorka!
Man, talk about a real Craggle situation. I know this is meant to be Squidina, Patrick's sister who's in his spin-off show, but apparently this was her first appearance? Everyone is acting like she's part of the main cast. She's always been here, guys. Remember her classic dynamic with Pearl? This is completely normal. You know, they spend a while talking about and then going to the moon before we're actually on the moon. It takes like 8 minutes for us to get there. It's also kind of funny how much of a momentous occasion they make this feel. And we've already gone to the moon like twice in this show. But they do spend the longest time there, doing you know, moon stuff. Squidward's here too, also doing moon stuff.
This is a season 11 episode, so you might expect me to hate this special. But I don't. In fact, I think I like it.
Okay, look. Maybe I'm just more forgiving since I actually grew up with modern SpongeBob. If by modern you mean 2015. But I feel like this episode has a lot of classic feeling humor in it.
Third time's a charm.
I thought a lot of the moon jokes were clever, I don't know. So at this point you may have noticed that this Christmas special is missing,
Christmas?
It's so weird. It's not until 16 minutes in, with only 7 minutes left, that Santa appears out of nowhere. Apparently he likes sleeping on the dark side of the moon. What? So SpongeBob ends up freaking destroying the moon, and Santa is like genuinely shell-shocked from the experience. And their brilliant solution is to soak SpongeBob and make him the temporary new moon until Santa gets a new one?
This episode is breaking my mind. Why is it a Christmas special? Why are they on the moon? Do you think there was a mandate? Like they were working on a normal episode and then they're like, oh crap, we don't have a Christmas one planned. Let's just make this a Christmas one. Why is Santa on the moon? What's the correlation there? The only connection I know is my own mind. When I was a kid, the whole Santa is always watching thing, maybe interpret that as him being in space literally watching down on Earth. Did the writers do a mind scam on me? Am I a SpongeBob sleeper agent?
God, this was such a weird experience. It made me feel like a dumb child again, and I love it. Next up is SpongeBob's Road to Christmas, released in 2021. At this point, my relationship with cable TV had completely fizzled out. I was very much done. But when I heard that Patchy was in the new Christmas special, I decided, why not? For old time's sake. So yeah, I saw this episode not during its premiere, but one of its immediate reruns. The premise of this special is that SpongeBob wanted to leave a gift for Santa as a thank you for all the gifts he's left. Honestly, relatable. I remember when I was a kid, I also left a present for Santa.
Take a wild guess on what it could have possibly been. Go ahead, guaranteed no one will guess it. If you guessed a bucket full of clamshells, then you are wrong. Can you imagine? Someone out there probably guessed it and got super excited. No, what I left him was an original, custom-made, hand-drawn fan comic of Captain Underpants. No, I am not kidding. That's what I left him. God, what must have my poor parents thought? That thing is lost to time, but I put so much effort into that thing. Oh my god.
Unfortunately, Santa's fat keister shoved his gift out of his eyesight, and SpongeBob doesn't notice until July. Yup, this Christmas special takes place in the middle of July. I guess that's a bold move, and it works for the purpose of this story. With the help of Patrick and Plankton, who plans to put his name on the nice list, they go on an epic journey to save... Oh, hang on, the stakes aren't that high. They just want to deliver SpongeBob's gift. And yeah, they end up going to the surface. Feels like they didn't really acknowledge that much. And get this, they end up in a Christmas land theme park, and in this theme park, they end up meeting a very special guest.
The bearded weirdo in the flesh.
SpongeBob SquarePants?
Hi, Santa.
Did you know that I'm your biggest fan?
That's very sweet of you, Santa. But actually, Patchy the Pirate is my biggest fan.
Ho, ho, ho! Ahoy, SpongeBob and Patrick!
Whoa, what?
That actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh yeah, this is our big Patchy scene. It essentially boils down to him giving them supplies to help them get to the North Pole. And before you know it, they moved on to the next scene. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, so buckle up. First off, it's nice to see Patchy animated now, that's cool. But also, Patchy's animated now! What's up with that? Why a sudden change? So as it turns out, they did plan on him being live action, but due to COVID, they decided it's best to have him animated instead. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, safety first. But it got me wondering, what was the extent of the live action sequence? They're on the surface after all, so was everything supposed to be live action? Or were they just going to superimpose Patchy and Potty onto the scene? The North Pole is also animated, and I don't think that would have been live action since we get buff reindeers running around. I couldn't find any answers, but I'm just going to assume it was Patchy who was going to be green screened into it. On another note, Patchy is just talking to SpongeBob now. Is that not jarring for anyone else? Growing up, his goal of meeting SpongeBob always felt like this unattainable dream, just barely out of reach to torture this poor fanboy. Then the huge celebration that was SpongeBob's big birthday blowout finally had them meet face to face after 20 years. It was a momentous occasion, but it also begs the question, now what? See, Patchy's appearance as a host has kind of been dwindling more and more. He still appeared in commercials and whatnot, but it seemed like his time on the show proper had lessened to a cameo or introduction rather than full-blown segments. It seems like the writers don't know what to do with him anymore, so after he finally met SpongeBob, they decided, hey, why not? Let's have him interact with the cast. While it's sad to see he isn't as, lively anymore, the kid inside me is happy for him. I probably would have freaked the hell out if I had seen this as a young lad. He hasn't appeared since this episode as of now, so who knows if he'll ever be back. If this is the end, at least he went out being friends with his hero. Went on a bit of a tangent there. But let's get back to it. Once they arrived at the North Pole, we got a lot of that classic modern SpongeBob slapstick you've come to expect. And at last, we get to see what SpongeBob's gift to Santa is. A thank you note.
Dear Santa, there isn't a present big enough to express how much joy you've brought to all the children and sea creatures of the world. So this is just a simple thank you note. Thank you. Signed, with love, your pal SpongeBob.
Aw, that's really sweet. But also, this could have been a memo, SpongeBob. You could have just hung this on a tree for him to notice it or something. And that's basically it. Honestly, I didn't have as much to say about this special as I thought I did. Seems like I mostly only remembered the patchy part. Overall, it's a cute little experience. Nothing else to say, so let's move on to the fifth and final special. Sandy's Country Christmas, released in 2024. How many of you even knew this one was released? Seems like not a whole lot of people saw this one, which is a shame because we're back to that awesome stop motion. And Sandy's family is here, from her movie that everyone loved. Okay, before we get into it, let me talk about my childhood one last time. I watched quite a few Christmas specials in my day. Growing up, you notice the same general lessons of doing nice deeds and maintaining the spirit of Christmas. All good and dandy. But looking back, you realize the specials start to have this little funk to them. For a lack of a better term, a corruption. Like the writers said to themselves, hey, Christmas is all about the holly jolliness of it. It's so warm and safe. So what if we took a tiny bit of it away? And that's how you end up with the Easter Bunny wanting to kill Santa out of jealousy in the Fairy Oddparents. I mean, to be fair, how many times can you tell the same Christmas stories over and over before you start having to get a little creative? But as time went on, the specials only seemed to get more and more deranged. How else would we have gotten Santa getting shot with a gun in regular show? Or Santa getting ran over in The Amazing World of Gumball? Or Santa turning into a murderous psycho in The Loud House? Or Santa getting beat up in Teen Titans Go? God damn, why do cartoons hate Santa Claus so much? Leave the poor man alone already, Christ's sake. Do you think that everyone working on these cartoons didn't get the presents they wanted as kids? And they're finally releasing all their repressed anger in the only way they can? So where am I going with this? All of that to say, I'm glad SpongeBob managed to maintain some innocence with his special. Sure, we get some angry elves, but Santa himself has always managed to get through these specials unscathed. They were so close. They had 4 solid specials in a row where Santa was safe and sound, but they just couldn't resist. We just needed to show Santa getting mangled in the latest special. Now with the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these straight up just kills him one of these days. So yeah, the premise revolves around Sandy's family and SpongeBob filling in for Santa while he's...
Oh, Mrs. Claus, the Easter Bunny is here to see you.
Out of commission. And look, there's definitely still quality here, but this Christmas special kinda drags on a bit. It's not too unique with this story. It's simple, which isn't always a bad thing, but the plot here is just kinda played out, and the songs don't do much for me. It's a bit of a weak episode. Personally, I would have liked to see more of Sandy's sciencey nonsense lead the story. Also, side note, why does everyone blame Sandy for this mess, when it was her little hellion sisters who caused Santa to crash? No one ever brings it up. Hold them accountable, put them on a naughty list or something. I got nothing else to say about this episode. It's a fine, albeit messy endeavor. But who knows, maybe some kid out there will look back at it one day with as much nostalgia as I hold my own specials. I think it's precious that no matter how old I get and how rough my year might be, I always have something to look forward to. And hey, maybe someday I'll put in something other than SpongeBob. But that has been all 5 Christmas specials that the main series has had. While there's some other snow episodes and also weird chum episode that barely has anything to do with Christmas but is listed as a special on the wiki, I think this is a good place to end our little celebration. Maybe next year we can look into other cartoons or episodes, but as of now, I'm content with our little journey through the ages. Seeing how much this show has changed, thinking back on where we were and what we were doing when these episodes released. Nostalgia is a beautiful thing, but don't let it consume you. Spend time with your family, be grateful for what you have, and have a Merry Christmas.
You know what? 'Tis the season of giving. So my gift to you is the gift of cringe. Remember back when I said I tried recording myself singing Don't Be a Jerk? Well, I think it's time to fulfill my dream and sing it in full. I hope you enjoy someone with no singing experience struggle to keep rhythm.